Guys, we'll go live in next 5 seconds on Facebook.
Yamini, unmute yourself. Yamini.
Yes, I got it. I did not realize that.
Yeah, we are live on Facebook and start the webinar.
Okay. Very good morning to one and all present here.
Good morning.
I'm Yamini Podar, our your host for today's wellness webinar. I take this opportunity to welcome our dynamic principal and head of school, Dr. Kavita Agarwal, our PTA members, and our esteemed panelists, Dr. Sunil Agarwal, Dr. Aarti Agarwal, Dr. Lily Kiswani, to spend their valuable time with us and join us on this platform to share common concerns and give you valuable tips regarding wellness during this COVID. Let me now introduce you to our esteemed and erudite panelists for today. I heartily welcome one and all Dr. Sunil Agarwal, who is a laparoscopic and cancer surgeon at MD at Sanjeevani Hospital, which is in Malad East. He is the president of Sanjeevani World School in Dahisar and has been involved in social service and practicing for over 25 years now. Heartily, we welcome you, Dr. Sunil. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me and having me on this webinar.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving your valuable time. I now take the opportunity to welcome Dr. Lily Kiswani. She's an MD and interactive medicine practitioner. She has practiced gynecology for over 3 decades and endoscopic surgery, but has now transitioned into integrative medicine, which she has trained for in Belgium. She was in fact the first laparoscopic surgeon in India and has co-authored a textbook, Endoscopic Gynecologic Surgery. She has presented various papers in national and international conferences and conducted various workshops for gynecologists across the country.
Thank you for having me. And I must say, I'm the first female.
Oh, that's lovely. So congratulations to you, Dr. Lily.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Integrative medicine, just to brief you, dear audience, integrative medicine goes to the root cause of the disease, and by doing that, she's able to reverse conditions like diabetes, hypertension, skin and mental health disorders, and so on. So welcome once again, Dr. Lily, to this wellness webinar, and thank you for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me.
I next welcome our esteemed and the youngest panelist, Dr. Aarti Agarwal Bahua. Thank you, ma'am, for being with us again. She is a second-generation ophthalmologist who specializes in the field of refractive surgery and advanced cataract surgery. In just a short span of 7 years, she has treated thousands of patients who have benefited from her expertise and experience. She has presented multiple papers, and she also attends many conferences abroad to keep herself updated about the latest technology so that her patients can benefit from the latest treatments available today. She is the youngest doctor in Mumbai to have performed over 100 phakic intraocular lens surgeries. So congratulations to you, Dr. Aarti.
Thank you so much for having me.
She specializes in refractive surgeries, bladeless LASIK, and so on. She is in fact a senior consultant in Agarwal Eye Hospital and also heading the refractive department at Sanjeevani Eye Hospital. So we welcome a phenomenal doctor who has also a deep sense of social responsibility, conducting various camps in villages in Vrindavan, along with Dr. Shyam Agarwal, who is our honorable president of Navchetna Charitable Trust. I welcome all the panelists today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I also humbly welcome Dr. Kavita Agarwal, our director and head of school, DG Khetan International School, who is also the founder principal of this school and is heading MISA as the chairperson. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you very much.
So I thank the PTA members and Mr. Chintan Vaswani from the bottom of my heart for making this webinar possible. Your expertise and your Zoom expertise has made all this possible. Vitlani ji, thank you very much for being so active and helpful in all our endeavors.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So I think we will start this wellness webinar with Dr. Sunil Agarwal. All over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. And it was so nice of you to have introduced all of us. And I thank Dr. Kavita Agrawal, Principal, DG Khetan School, who made this possible and who invited me for this webinar. I would like to talk about wellness. Wellness during this lockdown or during the Corona time. See, my concept about the wellness out here would be that a person, he should keep himself busy. If a person during this lockdown has kept himself busy throughout the day, then he can be absolutely fit. If somehow he gets bored, then he will get frustrated. If there is frustration which creeps in, then there would be a lot of anxiety, and then probably, you know, all the things slowly, it will that anxiety and frustration will creep into him. His immune system will go down, and there are much more high chances that he get disease, infected, maybe mentally, physically, every ways. So this is I would suggest that my main concept for the wellness, or the main mantra for the wellness, is to keep oneself busy, absolutely busy. Do you want me to continue with
Doctor, we have
sorry?
a question. We have a question for you. Now,
Yeah.
this particular webinar is being seen by our parents, our teachers, and even students also. Now,
Okay.
there are senior citizens at home. They have grandparents at home.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are some who are suffering from high BP, diabetes,
High
and some are
risk.
cancer survivors also. What would you suggest for them? How
Okay.
to take care? Yeah.
Okay. So, see, as I told you that the main wellness mantra is to keep oneself busy. I'll come to this high risk individuals, what we call,
Yes.
and we'll group them in one particular category, and then I'll talk to you about what they should be doing and how they should be keep themselves fit. Coming before that, I would like to, in short, tell you all the things which have been coming on our WhatsApp University and on the news 24 hours a day, 24/7. All those points we have to definitely keep in mind. That is like keeping distance, wearing mask, sanitization, and all those things. Falana, all those things we need to do. But uh, what I think is that the four aspects of life that we have to take care and keep ourselves busy, they are our body, our mind, our emotional well-being, and the spirituality. These are the four things we have to take care of. To take care of our body, diet and exercise is important. I'll not go into details of all this. I'll just brief go fast. In diet, according to the Japanese, what they say that 80% of the stomach should be full. That is the first sign you get that your stomach is full. You just stop eating. And definitely nowadays, obviously the junk food is not available, so everybody has to eat homemade food. And that's why you must have also heard that most of the hospitals, they are going empty. Just this lockdown has taught us so much. Only by eating good food, doing some exercise, staying home, there is no stress, half the hospitals are empty. And believe me, I am the most happiest person, though I am my hospital itself is running empty. But compared to the last year study, you would see that the mortality of other diseases, I'm not talking of corona, but mortality due to other diseases has gone down. So we have learned in this lockdown that if we have good food, homemade food, no junk, no stress, our diseases would come down and mortality rate will come down. So this for our body, diet and then the exercise. 1 hour of exercise per day, 5 days a week, it will do wonders. For our emotional well-being, we should look into socializing, like Chintan has so nicely made this webinar possible. Via the Zoom and via other medium, we can socialize with each other. There are lots of things for entertainment. If there is a elderly, as we will be coming to that topic now, or the other high risk individual, we can play games with them, card games and other board games, and keep their emotional well-being as well as our emotional well-being. To For our mind, I would suggest that two things you should do. Most important, to keep your mind active, is to gain knowledge, keep gaining knowledge. So whatever field you are into, say I am a doctor, so I have to sharpen my skills. I have to read. During this lockdown, I should read about my topic. That will keep me sharpened. My skill will be remain proper. And second thing is, whatever passion I have, like if I talk of myself, I love to read history. So we have smartphones, smart TVs and everything, and I'm going and I'm looking into First World War, Second World War, and Ottoman Empire and all the other things, and I keep myself busy. See, in short, this is the ways to keep yourself busy, and this will act as a wellness mantra. Now, coming to the main topic, which I was told to speak on, that is that in high risk individual person or patient, like a patient who is morbidly obese, who has diabetic, who has hypertension, who has asthma or COPD, that is lung diseases, or the person who has undergone angioplasty or bypass surgery, that is the cardiac patient, or those patients who are cancer survivals, or the patients who are on steroid medicines. All these patients, we club them together into a high risk group. Now, in this high risk group, what exactly do we do? First of all, they should understand, most important, what are the symptoms of their own particular disease, and what are the symptoms of COVID-19. Now, if we talk of COVID-19, uh, in all these high risk patients, if they don't have any problem, the best part is they should keep everything under control. That is most important. And if they don't have any problem, please don't visit any hospital. This is very, very important, because all these high risk patients, if they visit a hospital, they will have maximum chances of getting infected. So most important is to keep their disease like diabetes or blood pressure or asthma under control, and if required, they can contact their doctors on phone. COVID symptoms which they should know is, uh, nowadays, anyway, there are variant also, I'll let you know about that, but mostly they should know about is cold, cough, throat pain, temperature, and breathlessness. Especially breathlessness. If the person can't hold its breath for 30 seconds or 40 seconds, then there is a problem. He should visit a doctor. Breathlessness is very important sign. The disease is also presenting to us nowadays by abdominal pain and diarrhea. The patient doesn't have any other symptoms, just abdominal pain and diarrhea. And in very few cases, it is also presenting as a cardiac ailment, like chest pain and all. We also have a patient who had a stroke, and then subsequently when we investigated, we found out that patient is suffering with COVID. So there is a lot of variant of this disease, and all these high risk patients, elderly patients and all these high risk patients, should know at least a bit about all these things. Now, what are the things they need to do? The family per se, they should always keep contact details of at least 2 or 3 doctors handy. They should have the contact details of their pharmacy. They should have contact details of the insurance policy, Mediclaim policy, and the insurance person. Pharmacy also, they should have at least 2 or 3 pharmacies number. So whenever required, this phone number should be handy and they should be able to connect to these people. Adequate stock of supplies of their medicines, at least for 4 weeks. And before, एक हफ्ता पहले ही उनको अपनी medicines replace कर देनी है. So adequate supply of medicines for 4 weeks is very much necessary. Now, there are few equipment which they should keep in at their home if the person is elderly and other comorbid conditions are present. That is, one, a digital BP apparatus should be there. Pulse oximeter they should keep a pulse oximeter. A digital thermometer should be there, and digital weighing machine should be there. These 4 are the basic item which every household people should keep who has elderly and comorbid condition. Apart from this, depending upon what the patient has, if the patient has diabetes, they can keep a glucometer. If the patient has asthma, they can also keep nebulizer machine, which can give them nebulization, so on and so forth, depending upon what condition the person is suffering. Now, if I'll just take an example of a diabetes, and then I'll let you know what few things they should remember, and then you can further ask me questions. Most important in all this patient, they have to keep themselves hydrated. Their diet should be proper. They should do exercise to keep diabetes, blood pressure, and other diseases under check. They should sleep well. The anxiety should be taken care of, so that if the person doesn't sleep and the anxiety is not taken care of, then any disease, say diabetes, hypertension, or asthma, all those diseases will go haywire. Sleep is a very important mode by which one can improve their own immunity. So if we talk of diabetes, they should know the symptoms of low blood sugar level. So as soon as they feel that the sugar level has gone down, they can immediately take sugar. Just जो घर में पड़ा रहता है sugar, that sugar also खा लिया तो चलेगा. High blood sugar level के symptoms they should know, so that they can increase the dose of their medicines by contacting their respective doctors. These are the अगर हम इसको डिवाइड करें, आई हैव डिवाइडेड दिस इनटू 3 कैटेगरी, जैसे कोरोना वायरस का डेमोग्राफी को किया है, इनटू रेड, ऑरेंज एंड ग्रीन. व्हाट इज ग्रीन? Green category of patients are those who has kept their disease well under control, say kept the diabetes or BP well under control with their medicine. They need not do anything. Orange zone. Orange zone is that they have a spike of disease like diabetes बढ़ रहा है या BP बढ़ रहा है. So these people, they can contact their doctors on phone, दवा ले सकते हैं जैसा डॉक्टर ने कहा, और फिर उसके बाद उनका लेवल अगेन कम्स बैक टू द नॉर्मल. दे आर ऑरेंज, दे नीड नॉट गो टू द हॉस्पिटल. थर्ड कैटेगरी इज रेड जोन. वॉट एवर दे डू, they have talked to the doctor on phone, taken telemedicine advice, but their spike keeps on coming up and up and up. So these are the category of people, those who need to visit the hospital. Now, there are few criteria. Once the person goes to the hospital, what he need to do. The criteria is, 1, don't directly rush to the hospital. Always try to contact on phone, always take an appointment, and then only go to the hospital, unless and until, of course, if it is a dire emergency, then you can't help it, you have to go. But if it is not dire emergency, always take an appointment and then go. Nowadays, it's not like that ki you go into the clinic and doctor is waiting for you. Aisa nahi hai. The scene have changed. You have to go to the hospital with proper mask. You have to Keep distance between the receptionist and yourself. Keep calm. Don't shout on anybody, on receptionist or the security person. Is not going to help your cause. Keep social distancing in the waiting room and go and meet the doctor whenever you are called. So these are few tips I would like to share with you all. If there is anything else, you can please ask me.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for this enriching advice. We will move to Dr. Aarti Agarwal, and we will be taking the question and answers at the end of the session. So would request everybody, if you have any questions, please type in the Q&A section. Till then, we move to Dr. Aarti. Good morning, Dr. Aarti. Now, during this lockdown period, the new normal is increased screen time, round the clock, webinars, online teaching and learning. Now, what is the impact of this prolonged exposure to screen on our eyes?
Firstly, at the outset, I would like to thank Dr. Kavita Agrawal, Principal DG Khaitan International School, and the entire team conducting this webinar for inviting me here today. Thank you so much. Like Muskan ma'am very briefly introduced about me, I'm an eye surgeon. I'm here to share certain tips which will help you all not only during lockdown, but even otherwise to keep your eyes safe and healthy, especially when you're dealing with constant long hours of screen time. Firstly, I would like to say that Dr. Sunil Agrawal very briefly and very nicely summed the entire COVID-19 disease. And taking from him, like he said, that at this moment, especially during the lockdown, you don't want to end up yourself going to visit a doctor until and unless it is very necessary. So these few tips which I'm going to share y'all is related to eye and health, which will help you keep your eyes safe and avoid any visit and or rather any unnecessary visit to the doctor. It's inevitable to say that one must not be on screen or reduce screen time, because when we are locked in our four walls of the house during this lockdown, most of us are stuck on the screen, maybe for work purpose, on the laptop or computer, for entertainment purpose on your television, or any recreation purpose on your mobile. Yes, it's probably the new normal, which maybe for a few months from now is going to continue. So I have simplified this so that, okay, first let me tell you all, yes, it's not raining where I'm sitting. It's what I'm wearing is a PPE, which is a personal protective equipment, which we doctors wear while we are working. So I'm extremely sorry if this is causing any kind of distraction to you when I'm talking. Any which ways, continuing with my talk, I have made it very simple. I'm going to give you just 8 tips, only 8 ABC tips for you to keep your eyes healthy this lockdown. Very simple. Starting with A, avoid excessive screen time. Yes, like I said, it's inevitable, it's unavoidable. Nowadays, classes, online classes, work from home, you cannot completely avoid screen time, but yes, you can reduce. So the other recreation like watching Netflix or Amazon Prime or probably watching a movie late night, that can be avoided. So the excessive screen time, if you can avoid, or any use of visual display terminal like laptop, mobile, TV, smartphones, that would really help. Maybe restrict your screen time to say about 8 to 10 hours in a day, that to maximum. What I'm talking about, work from home. Children should restrict it even further. Coming to point B, frequent blinking. Yes, so what happens is a normal human eye in a minute, we blink around 15 to 17 times. This is what happens normally. But whenever we are constantly on screen, or whenever we are continuously staring at our computer, laptop, mobile, we tend to blink less. This blink rate reduces to as less as 5 to say about 7 times. And what does this cause is it causes dryness in the eye. So you should definitely make a conscious effort to blink so that you basically are helping your tear films to regularize your ocular surface and hence avoid dryness. These few things will just help you to keep your screen time. Even if you have a long screen time, it will help you to keep your eyes healthy. Coming to point C is contrast sensitivity. Yes, whichever gadget you're using, try to increase your contrast sensitivity a little and adjust the illumination or the brightness of the screen to your surroundings. What I mean by this is that if it is always better that whenever you are having long constant hours and especially working or maybe doing any educational activity on the screen, at least try to work in an atmosphere where there's brightly illuminated light, because that helps avoid direct stress and strain to the eye, which would happen if you have, or you're constantly staring at your screen. Especially when you are reading or doing any activity at night or any where the illumination is less, it's always a good habit to block the blue filter which is there on our gadgets, or just switch on the night mode. This really does wonders. Coming to point D. D is one of the most important things. It is the distance between your eyes and the screen. So normally you should keep a 1 arm distance between the screen and your eyes. This avoids direct strain to your eye. So this can be, especially what happens is when we are using our mobiles, kids tend to read like this. This causes excessive conversion and it may lead to fatigue of the eye muscles earlier. So 1 arm distance is the other key mantra. Coming to point E is eye exercise. Yes, you rightly heard, it's the exercise of the eye. I am not saying that these exercises or this exercise which I'm going to say will reduce your glass power. No, parents, there is no magical exercise which will help reduce the eye power. This exercise I'm just saying so that even if you have long constant screen hour, it will help avoid tiredness, help avoid fatigue to your eye. It's a very simple exercise by the name 20-20-20 rule. So what does this exercise tell us to do? So at every time you're staring at your screen for say about 20 minutes, you should take your eyes for 20 seconds away from the screen and look at an object 20 feet away. Yes, so whenever you're having a constant screen time of 20 minutes, take off your eyes from the screen for 20 seconds and look or focus at any object which is 20 feet away. So what this does is it tries to break your fusion, which you are, when you're constantly staring at the screen or you're doing a near work, your eyes are converging. So this helps to break the fusion and this will help you in long term. Coming to point F. F is fan or air conditioning. So whenever there is any kind of wind which blows directly in your eye or on your face, it will cause excessive amount of dryness. So if you must have noticed where there's an air condition switched on in your room, there's an outlet for water, correct? It's not raining in your room. Where does the water come from? It's the humidity which the air condition sucks in and throws it out. Similarly, it even dries up the eye because that is also a liquid layer over the eye, which is called as tear, that is also absorbed by these kind of air conditioning or any kind of cooler, and it basically causes more amount of dryness. So it's always a good habit that if you want to sit near the fan, avoid sitting directly below the fan. You can probably sit a feet or 2 feet away from it. And if it is an air conditioner, try to not sit directly opposite the air conditioner so that the wind blows not directly at your eye. Coming to point G is the use of anti-glare. Yes, anti-glare screens or anti-glare goggles or an anti-glare mode on your television really helps because it helps to basically eliminate the extra reflectivity which comes on the screen. Coming to point H, like Dr. Sunil Agrawal mentioned, it's healthy eating, healthy diet. Yes, I'm sure all parents will be asking me this question lately is whether carrots and eye is directly related. yes, it is directly related because vitamin A is essential for the eye. But apart from carrot, there are many other things also which has vitamin A, like very brightly colored vegetables like capsicum, fruits like pumpkin, oranges, banana, all brightly colored vegetables and fruits, dairy product, fish, all these have vitamin A. And a requirement for vitamin A to keep our eyes healthy per day is very limited. So you need not concentrate on particularly the objects which have vitamin A, but a very well-balanced diet which has carbohydrates, proteins, some amount of fruits and vegetable will help suffice this. So I'm going to just sum it up quickly so that we can move on to the next speaker. A is avoid excessive screen time. B is frequent blinking, practice constantly, especially for children. Parents should probably put a timer or make sure that the child is blinking, especially when they're playing video games. They're so much engrossed in it that they avoid blinking. Coming to C, you can increase your contrast sensitivity of the screen a little and adjust the brightness according to the illumination of the room. D, distance of one arm, say about 18 to 24 inches between your screen and your eye. Coming to point E is eye exercises, practice 20-20-20 rule. That is, after a screen time of 20 minutes, take your eyes away from the screen for 20 seconds and look at an object 20 feet away. F, direct contact with the air, any kind of wind blowing to your eye should be avoided. G, anti-glare use of screen or gadgets should be done. H, healthy diet. So yeah, this is what I have for you all in the bucket today. And I would be glad to answer all your queries as little as it is. Thank you. Over to you, Yamini and Muskan. Thank you.
You've already answered everything that I had in my mind. And of course, my parents and my students are going to benefit from all of this. We will come back again to you for the question and answers. We move on to Dr. Lily Kiswani. Yes, Dr. Lily. Welcome. Dr. Lily, how can we take care of our mental and emotional health at this particular time?
Okay, so this is for the adults you are asking.
Yes, yes.
Keep involved.
Yeah, we are all at home.
ये जो हम कर रहे हैं, yeah, exactly. So we are doing social distancing, but we should actually it is physical distancing what we are doing, and we should not be doing social distancing. That means we should keep connected. जैसे अभी ये सेमिनार हम कर रहे हैं, तो हम आपस में ये सेमिनार कर सकते हैं अपनी फैमिली के साथ, अपने ग्रुप्स के साथ, फ्रेंड्स के साथ. तो हम वो कांटेक्ट लूज नहीं करें, क्योंकि कांटेक्ट लूज करने से बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस हो जाता है. ये स्ट्रेस हम कम कर सकते हैं जब हम एक दूसरे के साथ जुड़े रहते हैं. फिजिकल एक्सरसाइज हम कर सकते हैं. लोग हाफ मैराथन भाग लेते हैं घर के अंदर, तो ये कहना गलत है कि हम घर में एक्सरसाइज कैसे करेंगे, हमारे पास इक्विपमेंट नहीं है. कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है इक्विपमेंट की, कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है जगह की. यूट्यूब में बहुत सारे वीडियोस हैं जहां हम अपना बॉडी रेजिस्टेंस के साथ एक्सरसाइज कर सकते हैं, बॉडी वेट एक्सरसाइजेस कर सकते हैं, अपने आप को फिट एंड इफेक्टिव रख सकते हैं. Can I have my slides, please? Can we start with the first? So, आज कुछ टिप्स देखेंगे हम जिससे कि हमारी हेल्थ इंप्रूव हो जाए, बच्चों की लर्निंग इंप्रूव हो जाए, उनका बिहेवियर भी इंप्रूव हो जाएगा इन्हीं चीज़ों से. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. सबसे पहली सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बात है जंक फूड अवॉइड करना. हाँ, सही है कि आजकल हम नहीं खा रहे हैं जंक फूड क्योंकि सब कुछ बंद है, लेकिन जंक फूड तो हमारे जिंदगी का एक रियलिटी बन चुका है. एंड कई पेरेंट्स मुझे कहते हैं कि मेरा बच्चा तो जिद करता है, मैं क्या करूं, मुझे देना पड़ता है. तो नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. जब याद रखें कि जब हम अपने बच्चों को जंक फूड दे रहे हैं, इवन इंक्लूडिंग आप देखिए स्लाइड पे सैंडविचेस हैं, वाइट ब्रेड के ऊपर सैंडविच है, तो हम उनको टॉक्सिन्स दे रहे हैं। ये फूड हमारे लिए नॉर्मल नहीं है। हमारे लिए नॉर्मल वो फूड है जो हमारी दादी नानी बनाया करती थी। ये सारी चीज़ें अगर आप दादी नानी को पूछेंगे तो वो नहीं पहचानेंगे। तो हमें वो खाना खाना चाहिए या बच्चों को देना चाहिए या घर में जो एल्डरली हैं उनको देना चाहिए, वही जो हमारी दादी और नानी खाया करते थे घर पे। तो अगर वो पहचानते हैं उस फूड को तो खाइए। वो कहते हैं कि अरे ये क्या चीज़ है, हमने तो देखा नहीं, तो उसको नहीं खाइए, नहीं बच्चों को दीजिए। बच्चे जिद करते हैं तो आप दे देते हैं बच्चों को। याद रखिए इन चीज़ों की वजह से आपके बच्चों के शरीर में टॉक्सिन्स जाते हैं, उनके सेल्स डैमेज होते हैं, कुछ साल के बाद उनको शायद डायबिटीज़ हो जाए। तो यही बच्चा जो जिद करता है, आप उसको खुश रखने के लिए अगर आप दे देते हैं फूड और 10 साल के बाद 15 साल के बाद उसको डायबिटीज हो जाती है, तो क्या वो बच्चा कहेगा थैंक यू मम्मी, आपने उस दिन मुझे पिज्जा दिया था और आज इसकी वजह से मैं डायबिटिक हो गया हूँ? नहीं ना। बच्चे स्कूल जाने के लिए भी जिद करते हैं, नहीं जाना है, तो क्या आप मान लेते हैं? नहीं ना। तो उसी तरह इसको भी लीजिए कि ये बहुत रियली सीरियस चीज़ है, हमें नहीं देनी चाहिए। कैन हैव द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। एंड खुद भी देखिए और बच्चों को भी सिखाइए कि सिर्फ फ्रंट नहीं देखें किसी भी पैकेट का। फ्रंट पे बहुत कुछ लिखा होगा कि दिस इज गुड फॉर यू, दिस कंटेन्स आयरन, दिस इम्प्रूव्स योर मेंटल हेल्थ, इट इम्प्रूव्स योर लर्निंग, इट इम्प्रूव्स योर मेमोरी वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह। ये चीज़ें दे आर एडवर्टाइजिंग, दे आर नॉट न्यूट्रिशनल इंफॉर्मेशन। न्यूट्रिशनल इंफॉर्मेशन पैकेट के पीछे की तरफ होता है। पीछे की तरफ अगर आप देखें ये पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट है, मैं इस प्रोडक्ट के बारे में नहीं कह रही, कोई भी आप खाने की चीज़ देखें तो सबसे ज़्यादा उसके अंदर वाटर के बाद शुगर एंड कॉर्न माल्टोडेक्स्ट्रिन, जो दोनों शुगर हैं, एंड ये सारे जो है सनफ्लावर ऑयल, जीएमओ सोय ऑयल, दे आर वेरी डैमेजिंग ऑयल्स। तो ये सारी डैमेजिंग चीज़ें हमें अपने बच्चों को क्यों देनी है? क्यों नहीं? नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। क्यों नहीं हम उनको जस्ट नॉर्मल फूड दे सकते हैं, जो हेल्दी फूड है, जो घर पे बनाया हुआ फूड है। हाँ, इसका मतलब है कि थोड़ी सी हमें मेहनत ज़रूर करनी पड़ेगी। ये पैकेट उठा के दे देना बहुत आसान हो जाता है बच्चों को, लेकिन अल्टीमेटली हम अपनी बच्चों की हेल्थ के लिए ये सब कर रहे हैं ना। हमें हर जो मील दे रहे हैं, हर जो स्नैक दे रहे हैं बच्चों को, अपने को, बूढ़ों को, इट मस्ट कंटेन प्रोटीन एंड गुड फैट्स, not just carbohydrates. It must contain vitamins and minerals. तो मान लीजिए कि अगर हम फॉर एग्जांपल आलू पराठा या पूरी भाजी या उपमा या पोहा, ये नॉर्मल ब्रेकफास्ट आइटम्स खा रहे हैं, इनमें मेनली कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स है, इनमें प्रोटीन तो ना के बराबर है एंड प्रोबेबली अनहेल्दी फैट्स भी हैं। तो हम जो भी दे रहे हैं उसमें न्यूट्रिएंट्स भरे हुए होने चाहिए, ना कि ऐसा फूड जो हमारी बॉडी में से न्यूट्रिएंट्स यूज करे डाइजेशन के लिए। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। एंड कई बार हमें सप्लीमेंट्स देने पड़ते हैं बच्चों को भी और खुद के लिए भी। फॉर एग्जांपल कैल्शियम है, आयरन है, ये तो हम जानते हैं, लेकिन प्रोटीन एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ है। वेजिटेरियन स्टेटस में प्रोटीन बहुत कम मिलता है डाइट में, एंड प्रोटीन एक ज़रूरी सप्लीमेंट होता है। ऐसे और भी सप्लीमेंट्स हैं, आप अपने डॉक्टर के साथ सलाह कर सकते हैं। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। आप अगर कुछ और नहीं याद रखें आज का, ये ज़रूर याद रखिए कि रिफाइंड फूड्स, जिस भी फूड के आगे लिखा है रिफाइंड ऑयल, रिफाइंड मैदा, रिफाइंड शुगर, रिफाइंड व्हाटएवर, रिफाइंड एनीथिंग, रिफाइंड फूड नहीं खाइए। उसके बहुत सारे प्रोसेसेस हुए हुए हैं उस फूड के, विच आर गोइंग टू हार्म दैट फूड। कोई पैकेज्ड फूड नहीं और कोई प्रोसेस्ड फूड नहीं, जो नॉर्मल स्टेट में फूड है वो वाला फूड खाएं। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। पैकेज फूड यानी ये सारे चीज़ें अब जो बॉटल के अंदर है, जो पैकेट के अंदर है, मैंने भी दिए हुए अपने बच्चों को जब हमें नहीं मालूम था कि ये चीज़ें हार्मफुल हैं, लेकिन अब हमें पता है कि ये हार्मफुल है, तो कम से कम अब तो हम नहीं दें अपने बच्चों को। Anything which comes in a bottle, anything which comes in a packet, they look colorful, they are appealing to children, children are going to ask for it, peer pressure होता है, मेरा फ्रेंड तो खाता है, मैं क्यों नहीं खाऊं? लेकिन बच्चों को समझाना पड़ेगा कि नहीं, ये उनकी हेल्थ के लिए अच्छा नहीं है, एंड आई थिंक बच्चे समझ जाते हैं। Next, please. Plastics. I think सब लोग शायद ये प्लास्टिक लंच बॉक्स और प्लास्टिक वाटर बॉटल्स यूज करते होंगे, है ना? प्लास्टिक्स आपके बच्चों के हार्मोनल बैलेंस को डिस्टर्ब करता है, एंड बड़े जाके जब उनको हार्मोनल इश्यूज होते हैं तो ध्यान रखिए कि प्लास्टिक्स की वजह से होते हैं। अब देखिए मेटल का यूज, मेटल की बॉटल्स, मेटल के, हम लोग तो मेटल के डब्बे लेके जाया करते थे स्कूल में। मेटल की बॉटल्स मिलती है, दे आर नॉट हैवी। प्लास्टिक्स, इवन जो छोटे बच्चे हैं उनको मिल्क बॉटल्स जो देती हैं वो प्लास्टिक की ना हो। बच्चे कई चीज पसंद नहीं करते खाना, देर पिकी, हमें ये नहीं पसंद, वो नहीं पसंद, वो ऐसी चीजें जो हमें लगता है कि हाँ ये जरूरी है उनके लिए, फिर भी वो नहीं खा रहे हैं, उनको हम छुपा के दे सकते हैं। एज मदर्स एवरीबडी नोज कि हाउ यू कैन गिव न्यूट्रिएंट्स टू योर चाइल्ड सो दैट वो एक्सेप्टेबल हो जाए बच्चे के लिए। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। फूड जो है, आपने सुना होगा फूड इज मेडिसिन, एंड एक्चुअली अब जो मैं करती हूँ, जो मैं ट्रीटमेंट करती हूँ रिवर्सिंग क्रॉनिक इलनेस, तो आई यूज फूड एज मेडिसिन, आई डोंट यूज फार्मास्यूटिकल प्रोडक्ट्स एज मेडिसिन। व्हाई? बिकॉज फूड अफेक्ट्स आवर डीएनए। फूड हमारे सेल के अंदर जाके हमारे डीएनए को अफेक्ट करता है। देयर इज अ न्यू फील्ड ऑफ स्टडी कॉल्ड न्यूट्रीजीनोमिक्स, न्यूट्रिशन अफेक्टिंग जीनोमिक्स। फूड वो नहीं है जो सिर्फ हम अपने बॉडी के अंदर डाल लेते हैं तो पेट भर जाए। फूड वो है जो हमारी बॉडी को बताता है कि कैसे हेल्दी रहना है। तो फूड, almost you can say food is everything when it comes to staying healthy. Next please. Sleep, डॉक्टर साहब ने बताया कि स्लीप बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, एंड रियली हम हेल्दी नहीं हो सकते हैं कि अगर हमें एडिक्वेट स्लीप नहीं मिले। तो हम बच्चों को इतना ज़्यादा लोड कर देते हैं विथ वेरियस एक्टिविटीज़ कि उनकी स्लीप ही नहीं पूरी होती है। इतनी स्लीप ज़रूरी है बच्चों के लिए। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। एक्सरसाइज भी डॉक्टर साहब ने बताया कि ज़रूरी है। एक्सरसाइज से मसल बढ़ते हैं, बोन्स स्ट्रॉन्ग होते हैं, कम से कम 1 घंटा रोज, एंड दैट इज एक्टिव लाइक रनिंग काइंड, यू नो, प्ले एक्सरसाइज। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। और ये सब अगर हम करेंगे तो योर चाइल्ड will have better health, will be able to study better, concentrate better, memorize better, and will have better behavior. Their ADHD will be less, their irritability will be less, they will be more socially fit children. Thank you. And thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you to Dr. Kavita Agarwal, all the management, and all of you who are making this webinar possible in a very smooth and organized way. Thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Lily, we have a question for you.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned about having food that is, we normally cook at home. We should not have junk food. But what about the safety of food that we are presently getting? What about the safety of the vegetables?
I know that is always a cause of concern. The thing is that the soil itself is depleted because we're using chemical fertilizers. The soil itself has nothing, barely any nutrition to give to the plant. And no matter how hard we try, it is almost impossible to get all the adequate nutrition from the vegetables that we consume. And that is why I mentioned about targeted supplements. We can get organic supplements which are going to bridge the gap between what we get and what we need.
And even we are experiencing too much of lethargy among students, and just because they have eaten too much of junk food, obesity has increased in students and even children. So any other way that we can motivate our young learners to stay very active?
Sugar. The two most important things are sugar and refined oils. Just remove these from their diet. And remember, all carbohydrates are sugar. Carbohydrate is ultimately absorbed into the body by breaking down to glucose. So ये नहीं है कि अच्छा हम sugar नहीं खाते लेकिन हम bread खाते हैं, हम रोटी खाते हैं, हम आलू खाते हैं. They are all converted into glucose at the end. So we have to limit all the carbohydrate intake. So sugar and refined oils, ये दो चीज अगर आप अपने बच्चे की डाइट में से कंट्रोल कर लेते हैं, you will see their energy levels will improve and their behavior will improve.
Thanks a ton, Dr. Lily. We will come back to you again with the Q&A section. I'm sure my parents, my students, and my teachers would have definitely benefit and will include all that you have mentioned today.
Thank you. Thank you.
We move to our head of school, Dr. Kavita Agarwal. Yeah. Good morning, ma'am.
Ma'am, you are mute. I'll unmute
Yeah.
you. Dr. Kavita, you are mute.
Yeah.
I'll unmute you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Um,
Namaste to all my parents and all my panelists. First of all, let me give a big thanks to all the panelists and those who are doctors, and especially they are doctors from their very, very busy schedule. They are with us now for more than an hour or two. So thank you very much for giving your precious time. So today, COVID has really changed the perspective of our life. If I, as a head of the school, if I can imagine my school buzzing with a lot of noise and the entire school is having the activities over here, the sports over here, the assembly over here, and the dance and music, now I have to just keep a full stop over there. I have to stop thinking about it because it has changed the perspective of the life of one individual in school and at home. And I am sure all my parents must be having a challenging and a tough time to manage the children and keep them busy. See, as teachers, we have a timetable of 8 hours or 7 hours, one after the other, we keep them busy. But as parents, what do you have? The child is getting up at 12 in the afternoon, straight going for the brunch, having the lunch at 4 o'clock, and then having a lot of screen time, and it is beyond your control because they are saying we don't have anything to do. So it's a very, very big challenge in front of my parents, though we have given a lot of online tutorials to the children, lot of activities to the children, but I can understand the plight of the parents at this point of time. But dear parents, this is a time which together we have to face, and we as a school community, we have to jointly decide certain things, that how we are going to manage the children and take their EQ, AQ, IQ and SQ in a balanced way. So as Dr. Aarti said, that screen time has increased like anything. I know with little bit of cheating, if the parents are allowing the children 4 hours of screen time, they must be utilizing hours or 8 hours of screen time, I'm sure, because I have observed that when the child is on Google Classroom and on the other window there is a Netflix open, and when we say, are you with us, he says yes, but on the side there's a Netflix is on. So there are certain things which are going, and it is actually tempting, so much tempting. The child wants to experiment everything, he wants to visit all the site, he wants to research a lot of things. But dear parents, I would like to request one thing: please be friend to your child at this point of time. Please be in, you talk to your child that where he's visiting, what he is watching, what he's understanding, where he's giving out his information, who are his friends who are online. And I'm sure that once you start talking to your children, take them in confidence and spend some kind of a quality time with them, they are going to you that what are the do's and don'ts in connection with the screen time, and of course from the perspective of the cyber security. You must have recently heard the buzzing news on the television also about Delhi episode, and that boys locker room and girls locker room. So there are a lot of things, these type of things can develop at this time, because children have very limited time for they are not expected too much intellectually or academically, but they are allowed to use screen, and they can go anywhere without any kind of restrictions, and can get carried away by their peer circle and friends also. So this is one thing, the most important. Check what they are watching, for how long they are watching, where they are revealing their personal information, to whom they are chatting, and all these things. If you can keep little bit of control at this point of time, I think things can come into place. Second thing, for any kind of habit, to form a habit, we require 21 days. And these 21 days, we have more than 21 days now. So this is a time that we should indulge, we should encourage our children in forming some kind of good habits. Suppose the child is getting up at 12 in the morning now, afternoon now, and my school starts at 6:45. He has to come back to the same routine. So let them form a habit, make them understand that what is the importance of the discipline in one's life. That is very, very important, and I think that that's going to create lot of good personality, and that this is a time for the self reflection. The child has to identify what is my strength, what is my weakness. Let me work on some of the weaknesses, and let me exploit my strengths. And this is every time we always say that my child has no time, because such a lot of burden of studies, he doesn't have time. Now there is time. Let him indulge in developing his hobbies. Let him read books. And see, reading books is not that easy, because the children, those who are not good readers, they will find it very difficult to come into this habit of reading. But reading one book, after that second book, third book, and fourth book, they will become good readers. So let them get into some kind of habits. Also, goal setting. This is a time when you can sit with your children, spend quality time, and set some of the goals for their future, for their daily routine, with their friends. Some kind of negotiations can go on, and essential agreements can be done with your children. So dear parents, please look at this time as a positive time, where you're getting the quality time to spend with your child. The other day I was talking to my son-in-law, and he extensively travels everywhere. I said, now what, after the lockdown you have to travel? So he said, Mom, I'm so fortunate that I am getting this time to spend with my child, and I can see the milestone. I said, I can see the growth process of hers, otherwise I would have been the greatest loser. So take this time as a positive, good utilization, and a quality time. You utilize this time as a quality time with your children, understand them, and I'm sure after this time gets over, and we get over this corona pandemic, we will emerge as different human beings. We will emerge as different parents. Children will realize their own responsibilities, actually know how to face the challenges. And this is what I would like to request all the parents: be patient and calm with the children, but at the same time be friends to them. And thank you to all the panelists for giving me an opportunity to talk and address to the parents over there. And I would like to say thank you, Mr. Vitlani and Mr. Chintan, who have made this webinar possible. And we are going to come again with many more such informative webinars for our parents, so their vacation is properly utilized. And we really do not know when the school is going to open and in what state it is going to open. So everything is in a question mark. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for an enriching session. I'm sure all you have said, and we will see a better communication. Over to you, Geetanjali, ma'am.
Good morning, one and all. I'm sure it was definitely a very enriching session, and wonderful tips given by each one of you to at least help us sail through this COVID pandemic lockdown session smoothly. Now, I think most of us working from home have a major concern. And before I put up the question answer session, I would like to put up a question from our teaching fraternity. And I'm sure, Dr. Aarti, you can see it coming through. Most of us have the session, or I would say a concern that in spite of having restricted sessions, we do end up spending most of time in front of the laptop, working out our sessions for June or whatever. And I'm sure this question is from all the working community working at home. So now we end up getting a lot of itchiness in our eyes and a lot of redness into our eyes. So is there any safe eye drops that you could prescribe so we could take some precautions for that?
Thank you, Gitanjali ma'am, for the question. I think this question would have been there in everyone's mind, and I'm going to speak it out, the correct answer for it. Yes, there are over-the-counter medications which are available. There are medications which contain carboxymethyl cellulose and hypermellose. Those are safer drops to use. They are just plain lubricating eye drops, moisturizing eye drop. Like suppose in winters, you apply more amount of moisturizer, maybe 2 to 3 times in a day to keep your skin moist. Similar way, when you have excess of screen time or your, long hours of usage of digital device, you may tend to have a little amount of what you say is computer vision syndrome. Syndrome is a group of condition like Gitanjali ma'am asked, is itching, redness, tearing, that is watering of the eye. Yes, dryness does not necessarily mean that your eye is dry and you don't have tears. It can be excess hyper reflectivity, hyper excess of tears, which are basically not sticking to your eyes and it's flowing down, as well as headache. So this computer vision syndrome can be taken care with the help of drops like carboxymethyl cellulose and hypermellose. Just a word of caution, it's not entirely safe to use drops like rose water or maybe Patanjali eye drops or eye tone, because they have certain amount of preservatives which when used for a longer amount of time may cause your ocular surface damage. So always better that before starting any eye drops, it's always better that maybe over the phone just consult your doctor if it is safe. Otherwise, of course, drops with hypermellose, carboxymethyl cellulose is good to go for such symptoms. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aarti. There's another question for Dr. Sunil Agarwal. She wants to know that having alkaline food or alkaline water will help to inhibit coronavirus growth in our body.
No, there is no definitive indication or any research being done specifically with this particular thing. See, there are many questions like this coming up regarding the coronavirus. But one should understand that it's a very, very new, recently developed disease. And we are still under the process of learning a lot about this disease and about this virus. So specific things like somebody asking us that garam pani पीने से, garam काढ़ा पीने से, garam चाय पीने से या garam टी whatever स्टीम लेने से, और यहाँ तक कि व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्सिटी तो ये भी कहती है कि अल्कोहल पीने से भी चला जाता है. तो all these things are both immature talks for right now. We don't have too much of knowledge, and definitely we have a knowledge कि दारू पीने से तो नहीं जाता है, definitely. So it's a request to the government also कि ये जो दारू की दुकानें खोल रखी है जिसके बाहर इतनी लाइन विदाउट सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग और फिजिकल डिस्टेंसिंग हो रहा है, तो वो सब बंद कर देना चाहिए मेरे ख्याल से.
Sir, we would like to know more about the WhatsApp University. Just now you mentioned WhatsApp University.
WhatsApp University, I tell you, एक तो पहले गूगल यूनिवर्सिटी था, क्योंकि हमारे पास जो भी पेशेंट आता था वो गूगल से अपनी डिजीज को पूरा रिसर्च करके आया करता था. और आजकल कोरोना वायरस के ऊपर कोई गूगल पे तो जाता नहीं है, वो व्हाट्सएप यूनिवर्सिटी से पूरा मतलब पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन पीएचडी वगैरह सब हो गया है उसका, और शायद हम लोग से ज्यादा वो ही जानता है. You won't believe, a few days back I had a patient. I told him that now you are absolutely fine. I have given you 5 days of antibiotic. Now you stop this antibiotic. So he telling me, not asking me, he's telling me, sir, आप है ना एंटीबायोटिक ऐसे ही बंद मत कर दीजिए, नहीं तो साइड इफेक्ट होएगा. You reduce the dose. पहले आधा कीजिए, फिर 1/4 कीजिए, फिर बंद कीजिए, तो उससे साइड इफेक्ट नहीं होएगा. So these are the people of WhatsApp University which we get to see nowadays.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Lily, there's a question for you. What is picky eating? She's...
Ma'am, you need to
They're
unmute.
very, children are very choosy. Choosy is a simpler word. Very choosy about what they want to eat. They don't want to eat vegetables. They don't want to eat paneer or whatever. That you can hide them in the food. You can find creative ways to give them whatever they need.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Lily. Another question is, every time we mention once you go out of the house, we need to take a bath. So is it something like it is very mandatory, even if you step out every time, you need to take care of it?
See, you will get the infection only if somebody has sneezed or coughed on you. And that surface, let's say your hand or whatever, and you touch that to your eyes, nose, or mouth, to some orifice through which the virus can enter. But if you walk out of the house and there's nobody who's sneezing and coughing, and you're not touching any surface on which somebody has sneezed or coughed, you're safe. You're safe. You're wearing a mask, and when you come home, you change your clothes. That should be good enough.
Thank you, Dr. Lily.
Dr. Lily, sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
I wanted to ask that when we buy vegetables and fruits from outside, so is there any special method you can recommend or anything you can recommend that how to wash them and preserve them?
Yes, so putting them into a solution which contains lemon or vitamin C tablet. You dissolve a vitamin C tablet into a big bowl of water and submerge the vegetable in it for 30 minutes. It'll be safe to use. And this is something you can do regularly, not just now in COVID, you can do it as a regular feature.
Is that soda bicarb, that khane ka soda, also effective in killing the germs?
Soda bicarb is alkaline and this is acidic. So I'm not sure. I'll have to read up about it and get back to you on that. I'm sorry.
Madam, you are absolutely right. The soda which we use for cooking,
Yeah.
the soda can be put in the water and dip the vegetable for around half an hour. It is good to go.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
There's one question I see on the screen asking for that a person has been diagnosed breast cancer 5 years back. Can I go to the office or
buy something?
Yeah. So first of all, congratulations to that person. She has completed 5 years post she had that disease. So I congratulate her. And mostly after 5 years, we say that the recurrence of the disease is almost negligible. A person is considered to get a recurrence or a disease again. The chances of that thing is equal to a normal person. So the chances are very low, but still, I would say that you you will be considered in that high risk category group. And so you should take some extra precautions than a normal person. As far as possible, try to avoid outside. But if you must, then take all the necessary precautions like wearing a mask. Specifically mask also, there are few things you have to remember. N95 mask is supposed to be the best, but if the availability is very restricted, so you should go for 3-ply mask. 3-ply surgical mask should be taken, applied. अगर वो भी नहीं मिलता है तो हमारा जो कपड़ा है, क्लॉथ है, दुपट्टा, उसके 3 लेयर्स करके फिर उसको पहनना चाहिए. सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग मेंटेन करो. ऑफिस में जाना पड़े तो ऑफिस में भी है ना, ये सारी चीजों का ख्याल रखिए. रिपीटेड सैनिटाइजेशन, रिपीटेड वॉशिंग हैंड, एंड आई थिंक यू आर गुड टू गो देन. मैडम आपका ऑडियो.
I have one question for Aarti. So, Dr. Aarti, how much screen time would you recommend for the preschoolers from the age group of like 2.5 to 5 to 6 years? Because now, because of the physical absence in the school, all the schools are planning online teaching for preschoolers also. So, do you personally recommend online teaching for preschoolers, and how much screen time they should be allowed to?
Thank you, ma'am, for this question. I'm sure it's going to help many of the parents who are listening to us. So, American Academy of Ophthalmology is rated the highest, decision making or influencers in ophthalmologies in the world today. So what they recommend is below the age of 2 years, that is 24 months, absolute no screen time to a child. Video calling is still allowed, but absolute no other screen time. For preschool, that is from the age of 2 years to say about 5 to 6 years. So there are studies done, especially in Canada. There was a very large study which showed that more than 2 hours of screen time to a child who's at the age of 2 to 5 years had developmental issues, had issues like ADHD, that is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. They had symptoms of early refractive errors, and their overall development was slightly delayed. So I would not say that below 2 hours is absolutely recommended. These children should be avoided screen time as much as possible. But still, if we have to expose them to screen time, then it should be under guidance, proper guidance of parents and teachers, and restricted to say about 1.5 hours to 2 hours maximum, including everything. Like nowadays, a lot of parents give mobile to a child so that it's easier for them to feed and so that they stay healthy and fit. No, that's absolutely incorrect. What I'm talking about screen time is a guarded screen time under supervision and healthy screen time. By healthy, I mean to say is educational screen time is still better.
Thank you very much, because this particular study is going to definitely help us to plan the lessons for the babies. Thank you so much. Yes, over to Gitanjali.
Yes, Dr. Lily, there's a question for you. Is processed and packaged foods are bad for our health, but still it contains FSSAI label on it? Why?
How do I say this very nicely? They are basically, they are profit-making organizations, and they are driven by profit, not by any concern for our nutritional status. And FSSAI is working to limit the toxins that are present in a particular food item. It's not even food, it's a product really. I don't even call that food. So they will say, okay, don't have more than so many parts per 100 grams or parts per million of a particular toxin. But we don't want to have that toxin, because then the companies will go around that. If they say, okay, so many grams of trans fats per serving, then the company will make that serving size smaller and smaller. They'll make it so small. They'll say, okay, it conforms to your standard. It doesn't have more than that many trans fats per serving. But that serving, we know it's not the truth. They'll say 30 grams of a breakfast cereal. But 30 grams is what? Just maybe 2 tablespoons. Nobody eats 2 tablespoons of breakfast cereal. You'll eat much more than that. So you're getting more than the recommended amount. So really the best way to stay healthy, the safest way is to rely on yourself. You take the decision. It is your health. So you make the decision. You decide, I'm not going to eat anything that is coming in a packet or a bottle.
Thank you, Dr. Lily.
Thank you.
Dr. Sunil, this question is for you. Is using air condition at any time harmful during COVID-19?
See, again, if it is a high viral load area like our operation theaters, Now, the concept after the coronavirus, we are going to, at least in our medical fraternity, we are going to say BC and AC, before corona and after corona, because everything is going to change for us at least. Our operation theaters used to be positive pressure theaters, wherein the pressure inside the theater, operation theater, used to be much higher than outside, so that the germs can't enter into the theater. But after the coronavirus, now we are coming up with the concept of negative pressure theaters, wherein we are going to suck all the viruses which are present in the theater through the laminar flow and throw it outside. This is called as negative pressure operation theaters. Now, in a setting where there is high viral load, yes, air conditions are not good at all, definitely, because it is going to circulate the same air which carries the virus, goes into the system, and then comes out into the atmosphere, and they will stay alive for much more time. But when we come, say, we are talking about your house at home, where we don't expect any viral load, of course. If there is viral load, then there would be a problem. And that's why we are saying that when you go out, after entering, please wash your hands. And if your exposure after going outside is too long, maybe more than 2 or 3 hours, then it's better to come back and have a bath also. Keep surface disinfectants and utilize it. So we are expecting कि अपने घर में, in our house, there is no virus. So if there is no virus, then the use of air condition is allowed. Okay, but whenever we suspect कि हमारे घर में है ना कोई बीमार है, and we, even if we suspect, it is not proven, but we suspect कि that person may be having a coronavirus, उसको सर्दी खांसी बुखार वगैरह है, तो quarantine him in a room, and then don't use air condition. Keep it absolutely ventilated, keep the windows open, and isolate that particular person. So if there is no chance of coronavirus, you can use air condition, but if you feel there are chances, then don't use air condition.
So I have a question for Dr. Sunil. That
Yeah.
means all our classrooms are air-conditioned classrooms. So when the children come back to us, of course, they will be coming in the segregated attendance, because that is what the government is going to suggest now, that all children cannot come together. They have to come in parts, and also still we'll have to keep our classroom fully ventilated and no air condition in that. Is that so?
Yeah, actually, madam, frankly, my personal opinion is that we should not give our small children air-conditioned atmosphere. जब तक है ना वो extreme of weather और कोई भी चीज से the person is not getting acquainted, the body is not getting acquainted, the body will not try to fight it. The immunity, जैसे हम कहते हैं ना भाई, if we eat different type of food, then we develop better immunity rather than sticking to absolutely well preserved or nourished food. I'm sorry, I may not be able to put it properly, but I would say that the person should be exposed to, should not be given too much of comfort. Giving air condition in a classroom for 6 to 8 hours in the whole day, this will not be good for the child. So in this thing, normally also too much of exposure of air condition to a child is not good. So after this BC corona time, after the corona period, I think we should not expose the child to the air condition. It is better to have a good, nice ventilated classes.
Also, Dr. Sunil, it is expected that wearing masks to work would become the new normal. So will usage of masks for an extended hour cause breathing difficulties on its own?
No, not really. See, human body is amazing. We can get used to anything. जब ये चश्मे नहीं थे, तो हम लोग जब जैसी चश्मा आया, we got used to it, isn't it? So similarly, we will now get. मैं तो सोच रहा हूँ एक मास्क की दुकान डाल दूँ, different types. That is the future. Everybody will have to wear mask. You will get used to it. And then there will be slowly steadily things coming up like filter आ जाएंगे mask के अंदर, GSM यानी porosity of the mask will be different. Already वो है available, but now there is बहुत कम मिलते हैं market में, but slowly steadily we'll get different types of mask which people will have to use it. आप देखिए ना, चाइना में तो ज्यादातर सब लोग पहले से भी यूज कर रहे थे, जब बिकॉज स्वाइन फ्लू था वहां पे एंड दूसरी डिजीज सार्स वहीं से आया है, तो दोज पीपल वर यूजिंग मास्क बिफोर आल्सो.
Delhi also, sir. Delhi, a lot of people use mask from a very long time.
Yeah.
Because of pollution.
और मोस्ट ऑफ द, अभी आप देखेंगे many मुस्लिम फीमेल्स दे आर वेयरिंग दैट थिंग ना, वो बुरखा, तो वो मास्क ही तो है. So a person will get used to it.
All right.
Ma'am, I have a question for Dr. Aarti. If you allow, I would love to ask. Dr. Aarti, I've been using refresh drops since a few years, I think. But lately, I don't know if it's an addiction or what is happening. Every night मुझे नींद नहीं आता जब तक मैं डालता नहीं हूँ. So is it safe to use it every night or like multiple times in a day?
Thank you, Chintan, for your question. Yes, Refresh Tears, like I said earlier, has carboxymethyl cellulose, which is a preservative eye drop available over the counter. And it is absolutely safe to use the drops n number of times for n number of days, just provided that you keep your eye drops in a well hygienic way, like you don't touch the nozzle of the drop multiple times before application. Keep it away from the sunlight, and once you open the bottle, at least try to use it within a period of 30 to 40 days, and you should be good to go. And answering your first part of the question, that is it an addiction or not? So what happens, especially I believe that your work involves a long hour of screen time, you know.
Netflix and Amazon, that's my work right now.
Correct. And plus air condition, second risk, you know, second high risk thing. And the third is the pollution nowadays. So dryness has become a part of everyone's life. It is not a disease anymore. And if you have to also use any kind of a moisturizing or an artificial supplement to, you know, get a normal lifestyle or to keep your eyes moisture, that is absolutely fine. So that should not have any side effect in long run, especially the drop which you mentioned. Yes, no side effect.
Dr. Aarti, people are saying wearing a 0 number glasses, that anti-glare glasses, is good to see the screen. Can you put some highlight on that?
Yeah, like I mentioned, anti-glare does help, especially for people who have long hours of screen, any kind of, you know, visual display terminal like laptop or computer, or long hours of screen time on your mobile. What this anti-glare does is that it blocks the extra reflectivity which comes on the screen. So that helps, especially for long constant users. Otherwise, either you can use in terms of goggles, which is over your eye, or else you can just put an, you know, there are anti-glare screens which come, so that multiple people can use, and you know, you don't have to again and again remove your goggles and put it back again. Yes, it does help.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dr. Aarti, there's one more coming up. Because of the screen time, I get migraine. So what do I do in this such a case?
So see, if suppose there is any kind of symptoms which is constantly and recurringly happening because of constant screen hour, we need to you know, dig into it, that what are we doing wrong. If you follow all the norms correctly, especially when you have long hours of work, you should not ideally face any kind of trouble. Migraine can even happen, especially if your number has increased and you're wearing your previous glasses, if that is the situation. Because if you are not wearing an incorrect number, that can cause an eye strain and lead to headache and migraine. Secondly, if you don't have glasses or you can see clearly and no refractive error, migraine can even occur if you are not having a proper head posture and your spine is, that is, your back is not straight when you're working on computer or laptop. Because if suppose if our spine or a back is not straight and your head posture is extremely tilted downwards or upwards, then can cause strain to your neck muscles, which can also lead to migraine. So yes, if the person asking the question has constant headaches, that is something to worry, and we need to dig into it, that what is the cause, either refractive error or the posture. And if those are taken care of, then there are paracetamol eye drops, there are medicines which will help take care of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Arti. This question is for Dr. Sunil Agarwal. Will pre-diabetic person also be at high risk? And there's one more question asking, mostly doctors advise to drink hot or warm water, whereas Dr. Sunil just said it's not important. So could you please clarify on that too?
Yes. See, pre-diabetic, as I told, any person who is having a comorbid conditions like diabetes, hypertension, obesity, all these people are under high risk category. But provided if they keep their disease under control, diabetes under control or blood pressure under control, then the chances of infection are not more compared to a normal person. So a pre-diabetic patient will have usually a normal sugar level. It is actually borderline level. So this is the right time. You have enough time in your hand. Do exercise at home, like Madam Dr. Lily Keswani had told us. So you do exercise at home and bring it further down. Pre-diabetic, that means not the glucose level is not very high. You can take care of itself. And once the sugar level is normal, then there are no increased chance of getting a coronavirus. Coming to your second question, use of hot water, warm water, or hot beverages and all that. See, we don't have a clear-cut research on this particular thing that hot water, say, coronavirus will be taken care of or whatever. But then definitely there is no harm. Our old age saying, जब भी हमको सर्दी खांसी होती है तो steam लेना, hot water gargles करना, गर्म चीज लेना is good. So symptom wise, and it will be good. It will keep your throat nice, and जो running nose या blocked nose होएगा वो सब खुल जाएगा. तो symptoms wise you will be better. But whether it is going to affect coronavirus, we don't have a study and we don't think so. Because अगर वैसा होता कि टेम्परेचर बढ़ने की वजह से कोरोना वायरस खत्म हो जाता है, द फर्स्ट थिंग द वायरस कॉजेज इज राइज ऑफ टेम्परेचर इन योर बॉडी. इट कॉजेज फीवर. तो फीवर होएगा तो फिर वो खत्म हो जाना चाहिए. सो हियर देयर इज अ डिस्क्रिपेंसी. I don't think hot water will kill the coronavirus, but definitely hot water may alleviate your symptoms.
Right. Just taking it a little more ahead, it's here the concern is I frequently have cough and cold, and now in this situation with no maids and having to do more work in water, and I have a 2-year-old kid too. So the corona symptoms are also there. So I'm worried most of the time. What should be done?
Well, see, as I had told earlier, the symptoms for the corona is slightly different. That is, the throat pain will keep on increasing. Usually the corona symptoms appears on 4th or 5th day of after you get infected with the virus. And the symptoms which starts coming up like cold, cough, breathless, increasing. The throat pain will keep on increasing. So if you are already, allergic to something like dust or cold water or those things, those symptoms are slightly different. Whenever you are in contact with an allergen, you will have a running nose, but dawai wagera le liya, so you will feel good. So you have to differentiate between the two symptoms. If your symptoms are increasing, throat pain and fever and all those things are increasing, then obviously you have to visit the doctor. But if these symptoms are because of dusting or doing work in water and all that, you have a cold and cough, they are more of allergic. So you need not worry and there will be no problem. You just need to take some anti-allergy medicines, take steam and hot water gargles, and you are good to go.
Thank you, Dr. Sunil. I have a last question now for Dr. Lily. Is it safe to get packed food from shops? And how do I remove and dispose my mask?
Packed food from shops, what we suggest is that when you get the food, you transfer it into your own container. Don't keep their container. And you clean the container, you disinfect it. Clean the outside of the container with a disinfectant. And make sure that it is hot. It is completely hot. And in that case, the food will be safe. And how do we dispose of a mask? I think Dr. Sunil is a better person to answer that.
Yeah, see, the mask, ideally, it should be cut. So we can cut the mask and then put it in a paper cover, wrap it into it, and then throw it in the dustbin. And after doing all these things, you have to disinfect your Caesar and you have to wash your hands.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sunil. The moment I said last question, there are two more questions that have popped up. I'll just ask it quickly. Aarti ma'am, what should be the distance between TV, mobile? As of now, there's no holiday and child is using it too often.
So one arm distance is what is recommended by various studies. One arm distance by which I'm saying is 18 to 24 inches, which is required to be maintained between your screen and your eyes. Around, so you can probably, the way I am sitting, roughly you can measure, and that should be good to go. Along with it, your head posture is extremely important. So at any time, you should make sure that your screen is slightly either exactly at the eye level or slightly below. It shouldn't be exactly on your lap, because that can cause excessive neck bending and can lead to further problem. Or it shouldn't be excessive high, because that will lead to more amount of dryness as your eyes are more exposed to the surrounding. So the ideal thing is to maintain at least 18 to 24 inches between the screen and the eye. And the screen should be slightly at an eye level, slightly below. That what it basically does is that your eyelids protect that much of the area of the eye, and your entire eye is not exposed to the environment, and it will help avoid dryness, especially in long run.
Thank you, Dr. Aarti. Over to you, Yamini ma'am.
Hello. Can I ask one question to Dr. Lily Keswani? Hello.
Yes, I'm here. Sure.
Doctor, what about the homemade bread and pizza bread, what you make at home with the rising flour and some other bakery products like cake and naan khatai and all that? Would you advise that to be given to the kids?
I really don't like the idea of giving maida to anybody. All of these things are made with maida, but there are recipes available now where you can avoid use of maida or grains, and you can make them with ingredients such as coconut flour, almond flour, or cauliflower, grated cauliflower. If we can learn about these from various videos, it will be good. Secondly, about bakery products. The products that we get from bakeries, you'll find, especially if they are packaged products like biscuits, you'll find that they have a best by date. And this date is usually about 6 months. Whereas if we are making cookies at home, they won't be good for after maybe 3 days. So why is it that our cookies made with the best ingredients last for 3 days, and their cookies, which are made with not such good ingredients, can last for 6 months? It's because they contain something called trans fats. डालडा होता था ना, हम देखते थे डालडा is what hydrogenated fat, and this fat is very, very bad for our arteries. It causes stiffening of the arteries and can lead to heart disease and many other ailments. So look for the presence of trans fats on the back of the product, and if it contains trans fats, absolutely avoid it, which means avoid all kinds of bakery products, unless it is coming from a very good bakery where you know that they have used butter in the making of these products, and it is going to be used freshly. So avoid maida, use other ingredients, and avoid trans fats, prefer butter. Thank you.
Okay, I think we will like to end our session here. Thank you one and all. It has been a wonderful, very informative, very engaging, and very super enriching session. Thank you so much to all our esteemed panelists, Dr. Sunil Agarwal, who has beautifully captured the before coronavirus and BC and AC and given us such valuable tips to take care. And Dr. Aarti Agarwal, again, you have beautifully captured the ABCs, the 8 useful tips for all our parents, teachers, and students to take care of our eyes during this lockdown period and increase screen time. Dr. Lily, we thank you so much for giving us such valuable nutrition tips. I'm sure our parents have benefited and our learners are going to, are on our way to good health because of that.
Thank you.
Our head of school and director, Dr. Kavita Agarwal, for so beautifully highlighting all the parents to take care of their child's EQ, SQ, and the bonding that we need to do during this period with our children. Thank you one and all for being here. It was truly wonderful. The PTA members and Mr. Chintan Vasani, thank you once again from the bottom of our heart, from the entire DG Khetan Vita, who was the brainchild behind this webinar. Our first session with Dr. Jawahar was very nice, and this session has been equally wonderful. So thank you once again to all the participants, to the panelists and our viewers. I am Yamini Podar, Cluster Head Lower Secondary, and I'm accompanied here with Muskan Talreja ma'am. She is the Deputy Head of our school, and Ms. Gitanjali Menon, who is the Cluster Head of Higher Secondary IGCSE. Thank you from all of us. Thank you so much.
So much.
Thank you.
Thank you, one and all. Thank you so much for giving your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.